Never reading of the streets. Vicinity FM 95.3. Welcome to the heartbeat of the city.
This is Vicinity 95.3 FM, Ikejile, Ijesha. The time is 6 o'clock. I am Oluwafunke Israel with news nationwide. First, headlines. Groups urge President Tinubu to reverse Cybercrime Act targeting journalists. Needs their commissions, digital learning centers and public schools in Oreade communities of Osun State. The Ministry of Environment launches the National Flood Awareness Campaign to mitigate flood impact. Now the news in full. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, and the Nigerian Guild of Editors have urged President Bola Tinubu's administration to reconsider the use of the Cybercrimes Act they consider as a target against journalists, activists, critics, and citizens peacefully expressing their views online. In a joint statement issued on Sunday, signed by Deputy Director of SERAP, Kolawole Oluwadari, and General Secretary of the Nigerian Guild of Editors, Dr. Iyobosa Owegere, underscored the need for the government to uphold press freedom and respect citizens' right to peaceful protest. The groups also called for the release of individuals detained under the law across the country, concerned that authorities have continued to use the Cybercrime Act to normalize the repression of the rights of journalists, bloggers, human rights defenders, opposition politicians, artists, and other citizens in the country. The Federal Competitive and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, said the threats by Meta, owner of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, to exit Nigeria following a recent regulatory order will not absolve the company from any legal consequences. FCCPC's Director of Corporate Affairs, Odaje Gwagu, described the threats as a calculated move aimed at inducing negative public reactions and potentially pressuring the FCCPC to reconsider its decision. However, urged Meta and its subsidiaries to comply with the Nigerian laws, since FCPC's final order by the Competitive and Consumer Protection Tribunal required Meta parties to stop exploiting Nigerian consumers, change their practices to meet the standards consistent with international best practices. Recall the Competition and Consumer Protection Tribunal had awarded $220 million against Meta Platforms Incorporated and WhatsApp as an administrative penalty for the violations. A chieftain of the All Progressives Congress in Osun State, Olatubosun Itiloye, has called on President Bola Tinubu and the heads of security agencies to go after individuals and groups financing insecurity in the country. Speaking with journalists on Sunday in Osogbo, the state capital, Oyintiloye, a former member of the defunct APC Presidential Campaign Council, decried the continued attacks and killings in states like Benue and Plateau as a pathetic and unacceptable incident. He argued that identifying and dismantling the financial and logistical networks behind the growing insecurity would help crush the foot soldiers perpetrating the violence, while he lauded the effort of security agencies. Oyintiloye insisted more must be done to expose and prosecute those enabling violent crimes across the country. In a move to promote open governance, public accountability, achievements, and challenges of the present administration, Osun State government held its 2025 second edition of its live radio audience participatory program Stewardship Saturday, May 3rd on 21 different radio stations throughout the state. The Commissioner of Information and Public Enlightenment, Oluomo Kolapo Alimi, chief host of the event, also a guest on the program, talked about the present infrastructural project by the government and the situation surrounding the so-called Yes or No All Progressives Congress chairman. The co-chairman of the 100-member Crisis Resolution Committee set up by Osun State Government on Ifon Ilubu and Osun Communal Crisis, Wahid Lawal, gave accounts of the effort and progress made so far by the Ataoja of Oshogbo Obajimo Olanipekun Alaroye led committee in resolving the communal logjam once and for all. The people of Osun will also avail the opportunity to inquire from the representatives of the government during the live radio participatory program on issues of public concerns in their communities and the state. National Information Technology Development Agency (NITSDA) commissioned 2 computer training centers in DTTC Grammar School and Ijebu-Ijesha Grammar School in the Oriade local government area of Osun State, with the aims to equip students with information and communication technology skills to fit into the digital and technology-driven future. The Digital Learning Center facilitator, Ahmed Saliu Alubakundi, eulogized President Bola Tinubu for the initiative focused on promoting digital literacy in public schools and vowed to extend the program to other major communities in the area.
Administration. The administration is an inclusive one, and they want every nook and cranny of this country to be digitalized. This is the first step. This community, now we have our children write the exams here. They would not have to travel to Lagos or Osogbo elsewhere. Now they can write the exams in their community.
At the launch, political leaders urged the project facilitator not to relent on his good deed, commended him for a good job well done. One of the leaders, Otumba Dr. Gabriel Ogunsoya, admonished the school management to provide adequate security following the launch of the computer training center.
Student can write exam now not good in computer. And then we don't have much here. This is the only person that help us get what we need to achieve them so that we can write the exam and pass. And their stuff is that we also insist us to put more effort to see how other towns and villages can benefit in this program.
This is Vicinity 95.3 FM, Ikejile Ijesha. News nationwide will continue shortly. Thanks for staying tuned. For comments, breaking news, and coverage of events, send an email to vicinitynewsroom@gmail.com or call 081 4365 8302. You can also follow us on Facebook, at YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Vicinity 95.3 FM. Now, the rest of the news. In response to increasing flood threats across the country, the Ministry of Environment has launched the National Flood Awareness Campaign aimed at educating the public on flood risk and promoting proactive safety measures. During the campaign at Nyanya Market in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Environment, Mahmood Kambari, said the 2024 flood reports indicate significant losses in several states, hence the need for early warning systems, proper waste management, and sustainable land use practices. Represented by the Director, Erosion, Flood Control and Coastal Zone Management in the Ministry, Usman Bukani, the Permanent Secretary explained that educating communities and preventing measures before, during and after flooding was key to reducing vulnerability. Barry stated the campaign was to empower residents with the knowledge and actionable strategies to prevent and manage flood disasters. Governors elected under the People's Democratic Party and the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, have agreed to foster unity within the party ahead of the 2027 presidential election. A reliable source told newsmen on Sunday that the Oyo State Governor, Seyi Makinde, represented PDP governors in a meeting with Wike in Lagos. The discussions during the meeting was reported to have focused on resolving the political crisis in Rivers State involving Wike and the suspended governor Siminalayi Fubara, as well as addressing concerns related to the South-South Zonal leadership, the position of the National Secretary, and other matters to balance the interests of both sides. In Lagos, All Progressives Congress Lagos State Chapter has declared 432 chairmanship aspirants to contest in the party's primary elections scheduled for May 10, ahead of the July 12 local government elections. The declared aspirants emerged following a week-long screening exercise held at the party secretariat in Ogba, Lagos. A total of 470 aspirants were screened, out of which 38 faced disqualification or voluntarily withdrew from the race. Among those who stepped down was Abdul Ganiyu Obasa, son of Lagos State House of Assembly Speaker Mudashiru Obasa. A bit of sports. Kwara's Abdul Basit Abdul Fatai and Cross Rivers Hope Uduaka emerged as champions at the 5th Michael Felicia Alabi Memorial National Table Tennis Championships held in the historic town of Ota, Ayegbaju, Osun State. Abdul Fatai defeated Matthew Fapumi with a convincing 4-0 victory to lift the men's singles title and the women's singles final. Uduaka showcased his skills, defeating veteran Alima Hussein from Oyo 4-1 to claim the championship. Tournament referee John Peter described this year's event as unique, blending table tennis with entertainment as participants enjoyed performances by various artists. News nationwide and a look at the headlines. Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project SIRAP and the Nigerian Guild of Editors have urged President Bola Tinubu's administration to reconsider the use of Cybercrimes Act they consider as a target against journalists, activists, critics, and citizens peacefully expressing their views. Due that National Information Technology Development Agency (NITDA) commissioned computer training centers in DTTC Grammar School and Ijebu-Jesha Grammar School in the Oriade local government area of Osun State. Lastly, you heard in response to increasing flood threats across the country, the Ministry of Environment has launched the National Flood Awareness Campaign aimed at educating the public on flood risk and promoting proactive safety measures. That was news nationwide. It was packaged and edited by Oluwafunke Israel. Thanks for listening. Good evening.
in the state of Believing Spring, right on the mountain top, a baby was born